You ever had a moment when a woman says she's fine, but everything inside you screams she's not? Her words are calm. Her eyes, maybe not. You ask again, are you sure? And she nods with a faint smile. And just like that, you think the conversation is over. But brother, it's only just begun. This story isn't about decoding a mystery. It's about learning a language, the language of emotion. Women don't speak to test us. They speak to be understood. And if you listen closely, not to the words, but to the silence between them, you'll hear what she really means. So tonight, let's talk about what women say and what they really mean. Because maybe, just maybe, once we learn that, we stop losing the ones who cared about us the most. Part 1. Everyday misunderstandings. Let me tell you a story. Last year, my girlfriend and I had one of those silly arguments that turn into emotional hurricanes. It started because I forgot to text her back after work. She said, "It's okay, don't worry about it." And I believed her. We went to dinner that night, silence on the table. I cracked a joke. She smiled politely. I thought, she's just tired. But no, man. She wasn't tired. She was disappointed. You see, when she said, "It's okay," what she really meant was, I waited for you to care enough to remember. Men often listen to logic. Women speak through emotion. And the emotional language isn't built on words. It's built on tone, timing, and attention. When a woman says, "I don't need anything," she often means, "I want to see if you'll notice what I need without me saying it." When she says, "Go hang out with your friends," sometimes it means, "I want you to want to stay." It's not manipulation. It's vulnerability wrapped in subtlety. Because most women were taught that being too much might make them lose the people they love. So they say less, hoping you'll feel more. Part 2. The female language of emotion. Women communicate differently because their emotional wiring is richer in empathy. When she says, "I'm fine," she's often trying to protect you from her storm. She doesn't want to burden you with feelings she can't yet explain. You see, women don't just want to be heard. They want to be understood. There's a difference. Hearing is biological. Understanding is emotional effort. I once asked my sister, "Why don't women just say what they feel directly?" She laughed and said, "Because half the time, we don't even know what we're feeling. We just want someone to stay until we figure it out." That hit me. It's not about solving her problems. It's about staying through them. So when she's quiet, don't rush her. When she says, "I don't know," don't pressure her. When she says, "Leave me alone," sometimes she's really saying, "Stay, but gently." To understand women, you have to unlearn the instinct to fix everything. You have to learn to witness. Love isn't problem solving. It's presence. That's the real decoding. Part 3. Real life stories. Let's look at a few moments that changed me. There was Sarah, my college friend. One night, she called crying. Her boyfriend had told her, "You're overreacting again." All she wanted was for him to say, "I understand why that hurt." Not fix it, not argue, just understand. Then there was my mother. She never said, "I'm tired." She'd just say, "I'm fine, go eat." But her hands shook when she cooked. Her eyes dimmed with years of silence. She didn't need a gift. She needed someone to notice. And there was Maya, the woman I loved. She once said, "I wish you'd talk to me the way you talk to your friends." I thought she meant conversation. She meant comfort. Women don't want perfection. They want connection. They want to feel safe enough to be emotional without being labeled dramatic. When you listen to understand, not to respond, you give her safety. And when a woman feels safe, she gives you her world. Part 4. The moment of realization. It took me years to understand that decoding women isn't about tricks, hacks, or tactics. It's about empathy. One night, Maya and I were fighting. I said something stupid like, "Why do you make everything emotional?" She looked at me, tears forming, and said softly, "Because everything is emotional when it matters." That sentence never left me. I realized that the emotional world of a woman isn't chaos. It's depth. It's where care lives. It's where love breathes. When she asks, "Do you still love me?" it's not because she doubts your words. It's because she senses your distance. When she says, "You never listen," she's not attacking your hearing. She's reminding you to feel. Decoding women means slowing down enough to translate emotion into understanding. You won't always get it right. You'll misread her silence, misunderstand her tears, and sometimes you'll fail to see her pain. But if you keep listening, you'll learn her language. And in that language, love is spelled not in words, but in patience. Part 5, Closing Message. So here's the truth I've learned. You can't decode women by reading books or watching videos. You decode them by being there. When she says, "I'm fine," don't walk away. Sit beside her. Let silence do the talking. When she says, "Do whatever you want," don't treat it as permission. Ask, "What do you want?" When she says, "I don't care," look into her eyes, because she probably cares more than you'll ever know. Understanding women isn't about mastering a puzzle. It's about mastering patience. It's about choosing empathy over ego, presence over pride. The moment you stop trying to fix her and start trying to feel her, you'll see women aren't complicated. They're just beautifully layered. They love deeply. They forgive quietly. They break silently. And they hope endlessly. So next time she says, "I'm fine," don't decode the words. Decode the heart behind them. Because when you finally do, you'll realize she never wanted you to solve her. She just wanted you to understand her. And that, my friend, is what she really meant all along. End screen voiceover. If this story touched you, share it with someone who's still trying to understand her. Because the more we learn to listen, the more we learn to love.